The wilderness. It calls to you, doesn't it? The escape. Away from urban life. Ben Nevis Visitor Center. This feels like an adventure. As you enter the bridge of no return, it's hard not to look back. The river, flowing endlessly to the sea where it ends. One last glance back as we say goodbye, hoping to return safely. Whenever you go on an expedition of this magnitude, it's important to make sure you have enough food and water. To take all you need to survive. To return alive. Welcome to Ben Nevis, the UK's highest mountain. Traveling with the safety of the camera guard on is a wonderful precaution and shows great situational awareness. But for today, for this journey, we need to take risks. With only this left to crack of the UK's 3 legendary peaks, John and Sophie grit their teeth. Well, Sophie does. John wears dentures like a real man. And together, they steam up the path. Ben Nevis, the old giant of the Highlands, rises 1,345 meters above sea level. Once a roaring volcano, now long dead and scarred by ice and time, it looms over Fort William like a weather-beaten sentinel. Those first steps up Ben Nevis fool you. The path's neat, wide, almost welcoming, like it's inviting you for a stroll and a cup of herbal buttercup tea, with sprigs of dandelion and butter shavings from the dairy cows of Mount Verussion. Legs feel strong, lungs easy, spirits high. Don't let that fool you, to quote an old wise ranger of days gone by. Hawkeye the new, laddie. Hawkeye the new. From the Ben Nevis Visitor Center, the pony track winds its way up the mountain, 10.5 miles, give or take a wild beaver's acre. The weather can change at the summit, so bring those bearskin socks and never travel without anti-venom. Steady there, cowboy. The path soon gets precarious and jagged, like old Aunt Hilda. One wrong slip of the foot and it's curtains. With tired legs, much like Hilda, you need to be careful. When she was 84, Hilda needed to go to the kitchen to fetch her stew. On the way down the stairs, she clipped her big toe and stumbled. Oh, how I miss old Aunt Hilda. She taught me how to skin a snake and chew tobacco. Exiting the old woods, we approach another bridge. The air feels fresh, and the clouds up high glow with an almost cloud-like white. A moment of silent admiration. Other pioneers start to appear as we meander up the rugged yet still beautiful path. Like us, some look fresh and ready, others not so much. They say the hills are alive with the sound of music, but up here, it's mostly the sound of heavy breathing and dragging feet. But like all good adventurers, we keep on forging. The mountain, vast and mountainous, steep and foreboding. Looking back across the path, had it only been 2 hours? The old maps spoke of the journey taking around 8 hours. Perhaps they were wrong. Time is funny in the mountains. What a view there, cowgirl. Remember, traveler,
I think it looks
it's about the journey and not the destination. We need to slow and stop, to look at the beauty. Like Brother Cornelius from St. Luke's would say, it's not what you see that you see when you look, but what you miss when you don't. You see.
Okay, so we're just about to hit 3,000 feet. We're just about to hit 3,000 feet. How are you doing, love?
Zombie.
We have around 1,500 feet to go. And we're just starting to get into the sun. Let me just stop and take my top off again here, love.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna stop, take my top off. 3,000 feet up. And it is getting much steeper now. As you can see, so only 15, 20 feet ahead, but probably that up as well. Probably going to start going into some of the clouds soon.
He's like a panther, a cat, a man of the hills. Here's one of those rumors like Grandma would tell us. In 1979, a team of removal men carried a piano to the summit as part of a charity stunt. The remains were discovered years later by volunteers cleaning up the summit. Adventure 101. Rest, look, breath, continue. We couldn't believe our luck with the weather. The Ben is famous for turning on you without warning. But that day the sky held steady, a rare gift. Given that the beautiful nation of Scotland has its fair share of rain, we were very lucky. And even though the final stretch went on forever, the views were second to none. Yee-haw, cowboys and cowgirls. We did it. We made it to the summit. Not at our fittest, but stubborn enough to get there. Sophie was an outback legend, keeping ahead, setting pace and blazing the trail. The wind bit, the sun did shine. Our legs shook, our feet ached. Yet the view, the journey, and the high adventure made it all worthwhile. The slog down was its own battle. It took much longer, but that's a story for another time. As we neared the bottom, we passed families still heading up with small children. Barely 3 hours of daylight left, and couldn't help but wonder if they knew what they were in for. We tried to warn them. So if you ever take on the Ben, be ready. because his mic down at the ranch says, "An unprepared mule is like a fire ant without a rabbit. And if the ant meets Joey the pool boy, then Dave will win the day." Take care, travelers. See you on the trail.
And then he got the train up. I think he thought he got liquor.